Andrew Huberman is a very intelligent man, and the majority of the things he's saying are actually true. But every now and then, he sprinkles in some nonsense, and he fools you, he bamboozles you. He can quote whatever science that he wants, but science to this extent is bullshit.
Punch!
Coach Greg, in today's video, Andrew Huberman has gone too far.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about the fact that he's managed to jug 5 side bitches all at the same time, which is the new world record.
Yeah, boy.
It's the fact that he says, and get this, cold water will increase your strength and endurance by 300%. Not 200%, but 300%. And he's done so in videos and even on the Joe Rogan podcast. And remember, many of you are saying, yeah, I like cold water therapy, I like ice baths and so on. This is not what he's talking about. He's talking about the fact that you can hold an ice pack in your hands, and by doing so, it's going to raise testosterone levels, increase cardio by double to 3 times normal. They're literally saying that there's peer-reviewed data that proves that this is more powerful than steroids.
Cooling the palms, palmar cooling, allowed people, athletes, and recreational athletes to run much further, to lift more weight, and to do more sets and reps.
And you'll all get mad at Coach Greg when he says that testosterone could help you potentially put on 4 pounds of muscle in a month. That GO2 max improved his endurance by 5%. He's saying double to 3 times. And so if I said GO2 max and testosterone is going to double or triple your strength, would you believe it? If you take test and trend, everything at the same time, it's not going to double or triple your strength. And so in case you don't believe me, let's hear it from him himself.
Cool water. So not ice water, not freezing cold, but cool water.
And remember, it can't be ice cold. It has to be just a little bit cold. If it's too cold, it constricts the blood vessels. It's not going to work. And so you need it a little bit cold. And if you do so, you're going to be able to train 3 times as hard as before. Rather than getting whatever reps you used to get, you're going to be able to do 3 times the volume. Unless you've been gregging your Doucette harder than last time, I don't suggest that by simply holding an ice pack, it's going to triple the amount of times you can GO2 max all over the screen. But if you are in fact Andrewing your Huberman too many times, you can of course ice your palm. Huberman, who's been juggling 5 side bitches all at the same time, he clearly needs to cool off. And so perhaps he's referring to the fact that if you cool off the palms of your hand, you can juggle more bitches than ever before. But if we're actually talking about strength and endurance, it's not true. He can quote whatever science that he wants, but science to this extent is bullshit.
Punch!
This is what happens in the real world. Trust me, I want you to know this. Many people want to publish data, and they'll do so at all costs. You don't think that pharmaceutical companies, for example, will doctor the data? Oh, we want to make cigarettes legal. We won't say that it's dangerous. Oh, let's say that OxyContin is safe. It doesn't have any addictive properties. Oh, and then sooner or later, multi-billion-dollar companies are formed. And so they literally will doctor the data.
Oh, but this study says this.
People have been trying to disprove testosterone. And so how do they do this? Well, they take said testosterone, which is fake testosterone, proven to be fake. They do a study on it and they say, look, guys, it's not as good as Deca. And so we prove beyond any reasonable doubt, we have the receipts, and we tell them, look, this was based on bullshit, fake testosterone. We say, we need you to remove this study. They don't do it. They turn a blind eye. They don't care. And so when you Google testosterone, what comes up? Oh, testosterone, it doesn't work because it's not as good as Deca. And so it's bullshit. We've literally got the receipts. We've emailed them, contacted them, proved to them that it's bullshit, but they don't care. They don't redact the studies. And so HDLT supplements, essentially the only supplement in the world doing this, has to prove that all these studies are fake. And so when you have a study saying that if you cool your hands, you're going to have 300% greater strength and endurance, do not question it. Did the study actually do what they should be? Could they not have perhaps fibbed the results a little bit? Oh, on day 1, don't go so hard. Don't try very hard. And on day 3, try harder than last time. How hard would that be? Do you really think that it's going to make that big of a difference? Remember, if he had said it's 3 or 5% better, I probably would have believed it. But when you start talking 200 and 300%, what's wrong with you?
You would want to pass it back and forth between your two hands, is because you don't want to be so cold that you constrict those venous portals.
Okay, guys, I'm going to now triple my gains. 3 times more. Why bother with steroids? If I do this between sets, I'm going to triple my bench press. I'll go from benching 200 to 600 in a matter of months. Why stop at doing 10 to 20 sets per week? I can triple my endurance. I'm going to pass an ice pack back and forth in my hands, and I'll do bench presses all day. I mean, after all, Andrew Huberman said so, and he's got a PhD. Coach Greg, he's just got his master's. What would he know? He's selling snake oil. Who sounds like they're promoting the bullshit? Is it Coach Greg or Andrew Huberman? This makes so much sense. If you look at world's strongest people, they all come from cold countries, such as Poland, Russia, Ukraine, etc. Maybe living in cold environments gives them extra strength. And so the world's strongest man, what's his freaking name? Mitchell
Hooper.
And so the world's strongest man, Mitchell Hooper, he comes from Canada. And it's cold in Canada in the winter. And so he must have a clear advantage. It's not fair. Mitchell Hooper trains in the gym and it's very sweaty. I've trained with him. It's warm. It's not because he's cooling his hands. He's not lifting up snowballs, making snowman, making igloos to become the world's strongest man. Explain to us exactly how cooling the palms of your hand is going to dramatically cool down your core and your brain. What is so special about the palms of the hands that cools down your core temperature so quickly that you perform at 2 to 3x capacity? While gregging your Doucette, many people prefer OnlyFans. For example, myself. I'm a fan of OnlyFans. I enjoy the neck fan. Sometimes I use a smaller fan. I have larger fans. I prefer those that have 12,000 mAh. It provides more power than friggin' last time. And so certainly, cooling yourself off while doing cardio, it's going to increase your endurance. Why do you think I carry around so many fans to the gym? Anyone that sees me often will see me walking around with 1, sometimes 2 fans while training harder than last time. And if you see my setup in the basement, I literally have 2 freaking helicopter fans behind me and 2 to the front. I'm bike riding with 4 fans. But passing a ice pack from one palm to the next is not going to cool off my body to the same extent as OnlyFans. I'm telling you guys, you need to get OnlyFans. You don't need to cool the palm of your hand, but you should be a fan of OnlyFans.
Yeah, boy.
And the best fans are 8 inches in diameter and 12,000 mAh. You can get 10,000, it's close. But if you want maximum performance with accessibility, you can carry it with you anywhere you go. 12,000 mAh, and so this video is about OnlyFans. YouTube, don't friggin' demonetize you. How dare you? And so, of course, the neck fan is a great addition when you're out trying to cool down on the beach. It's going to keep your core temperature lower. And so you can listen to Andrew Huberman, who's a neuroscientist, telling you you're going to have 300% greater endurance by passing a frigging ice pack back and forth in your hands. Or you can listen to Coach Greg, the voice of reason. The man of the people. I'm just a chill guy trying to keep my core temperature as of normal. I don't know if he's sponsored by this palm cooling company. I don't know what benefit he gets from saying that these cooling devices are going to somehow change the world to revolutionize society. That they're just as effective, if not better, than steroids. But it's just not true. If I actually thought that these cooling systems would work to this extent, I would tell you. Now, I'm not saying they can't make any difference at all, but they can increase your endurance to this extent. Imagine you're running a marathon in 4 hours and suddenly you cool down your body and you're running it in 2. It doesn't work like that. You cannot double or triple your performance by simply cooling the palms of your hands. Now, if you really want to improve your performance, you can get OnlyFans. But I would suggest on top of the fans, you also purchase Turkesterone and GO2 Max. Remember, if you're nervous, if you're scared, if you're not sure if it's going to work, we offer a money-back guarantee. And on top of that, a $20 gift card. And so if you use said product and you don't notice that it's effective, please consider this. Get the fans, get GO2 Max Turkesterone, code Greg, 15% off. And sorry, we don't sell OnlyFans on our website. We sell supplements mostly. This man deserves a medal For what? For biggest BSer on the net, you have been fooled. He's certainly up there. The man has been able to amass millions of followers telling people lies. This is not true. And so the problem is Andrew Huberman is a very intelligent man, and the majority of the things he's saying are actually true. But every now and then he sprinkles in some nonsense and he fools you, he bamboozles you. And you're thinking, well, he's just a chill guy. He's just trying to help. Is he really? How many millions or tens of millions of dollars did he get from promoting AG1? Do you really think AG1 is as good as they say it is? Do you really think that? And if you do, you probably also think that if you cool the palms of your hands, you're going to triple your endurance. And so what else will you believe? You're going to believe that bro isn't getting his Turk Geo2 Max by 5 bitches all at the same time? Who knows? On Joe Rogan podcast, remember, millions of people are watching this.
You can cool the core of the body simply by holding something of the appropriate cold temperature. Now, if it's too cold, it'll constrict the vessels and it just shuts down the system. Not good. So this is amazing. They've done some experiments in Craig's lab with the guys from the 49ers who could come in, they give them 10 sets of dips. This is wild, but it's published peer-reviewed data. 10 sets of dips.
And so it's wild, but it's published peer-reviewed data. And so there's no way it could be a lie. I mean, there would never have been any published data saying that smoking was safe or that OxyContin wasn't addictive. No one ever published any data on that ever, right? Wrong. Did you not watch that Netflix documentary? I could make 10 Netflix documentaries on this title alone.
This is wild, but it's published peer-reviewed data. 10 sets of dips. One of their athletes did 40 dips on the first set, and then it kind of drops 10 with 3 minutes rest in between. Comes back in a few days, and now they have him in between sets for 3 minutes, hold on to the appropriate temperature cooling device. Now he punches out 6-fold more dips.
So how many people believe that he went from doing 40 dips to 6-fold, which is 240? Do you believe that? I better do the math in my head. 4 times 6, 12, 240.
Okay.
That would be a 6-fold increase. And so imagine if that were true. You cool your palms of your hands, you go from doing 40 dips, which is a lot. Remember, this is an NFL athlete, to 240. You go from being elite to perhaps setting world records. Does anyone believe that?
In a few days, and now they have him in between sets for 3 minutes, hold on to the appropriate temperature cooling device. Now he punches out 6-fold more dips. He can just go set after set after set. He's increasing volume and repetitions.
And so he can just keep going. He doesn't ever get tired. Set after set after set, increasing reps and volume. And so to me, this is analogous to he became Captain America. He can run at full speed all day long. Whatever he can run for a minute, he no longer gets tired. And so he's Captain America. He can run all day. He doesn't get tired because why? Well, his core temperature is cool. He no longer follows the laws of thermodynamics. Bro doesn't fatigue. His body doesn't get tired. He no longer produces lactic acid. He's immune to it. And why would I bother needing ATP to produce power? I don't need that. I have ATP all day. I don't get tired because my palms are cooler than last time. Does anyone believe this? Anyone? I'm asking you, raise your freaking hand right into the comment section right now. I believe Andrew Huberman. That way I can screenshot it and make fun of you on my stories.
Can just go set after set after set. He's increasing volume and repetitions. So he's not getting stronger. He can do more. I know it's crazy, but the way it works is very well understood.
And so he says, look, he's not getting stronger. It's not like his 1 rep max went up. He can just go for days. And so all you have to do if you want to break Coach Greg's Guinness World Record in the deadlift is cool the palms of your hands. Whatever you can do, you can keep going. And so imagine if I had known this. Rather than getting 50 reps with 405, I could have gone 6-fold. I would have got 300 reps. Imagine that. Just go and go and go. More reps with more weight for days, but you haven't got any stronger. Does any of that make sense? It's not like he said, yeah, it had a 5% increase, 10% increase, a 6% increase. No, not 6%, 6-fold. Joe Rogan's like, what? Thinking, well, I don't want to call him out, but he's a guest on my show. I'm going to let him yap. What? No, of course not. You can't do that.
Let's say you're doing a set of curls. The bicep is heating up, and eventually you hit failure. The reason you hit failure is not because you don't have the strength to do it. You just did a rep with that. It's because muscle contraction is dependent on an enzyme called pyruvate kinase.
And so he says the reason for this, it's well understood. Raise your hand if you understand it. It's well understood. Raise your hand if you understand it. And so it's not well understood. People don't even know that to lose weight, it's calories in, calories out. It's that simple. Oh, I don't understand how to lose weight. You eat less. You move more. Oh, I still don't get it. And so do you really think the only reason you can't keep performing a rep is because your body is too hot? That the heat is preventing you from continuing the contraction? Of course not. And so it's absolutely diabolical that Andrew Huberman would spew nonsense and yap to this extent on the Joe Rogan podcast. And so imagine having Andrew Huberman yap, talk about nonsense studies while not even having Coach Greg. How am I not on the Joe Rogan podcast? If people are willing to listen to Andrew Huberman talk about nonsense, will the world not want to see Coach Greg yap harder than last time with Joe Rogan?
Is the heating of the actual muscle tissue. So when you cool the body at its core, pyruvate kinase can continue to convert ATP into energy and the muscle keeps contracting.
In conclusion, what did you learn from this video? You learned that Andrew Huberman has more side bitches than Coach Greg. And you also learned that if you're Gregging your Doucette too many times per day, that you may in fact want to cool down the palm. That can help. But in the real world, you're not going to double or triple your rep endurance, strength endurance, and so on by cooling the palms of your hands. You've also learned that it's beneficial to use a fan while doing cardio or perhaps lifting weights in the gym because it will in fact cool you off. When you're overheated in extreme environments, you cannot perform harder than last time. When I go to Mexico and I have no fan, I can't ride harder than last time. My heart rate increases. I'm sweating more. I can't produce the same wattage as I can when I'm cooler. And so yes, it does in fact make sense to cool down your body. But cooling the palms of your hand, it ain't it. It's not going to make a huge and massive difference. And also, if you are trying to cool something down, it's not going to be the palms of your hand. It's going to be your ball sack. Guys, if you're trying to stay fertile, you have to keep your balls cooler than your core temperature. That is why the nuts hang down low, not to and fro. You want to have cooler balls, 1 or 2 degrees cooler, so that the sperm can be more fertile. And so, guys, if you're wearing the tighty whities, perhaps let them hang free. Free ball it, let them loose, let them free, wiggling all about. If you are, in fact, on performance-enhancing drugs, they're going to be a little bit smaller. Perhaps a lot smaller. And so try to stay natural. But if you are trying to stay natural while keeping the gains, why not try GO2 Max and Turkesterone? I'm not lying to you. It can make a significant difference. It's not going to double or triple your endurance, but it's going to make you better. And if it doesn't, you get your money back and a $20 gift card. And so what do you have to lose? You can listen to Andrew Huberman or you can vibe and chill with Coach Greg. Remember, I'm just a chill guy trying to push 50 keys of Turk across the border from Uzbekistan. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you liked it. Watch one of those 2 books, of course, the cookbooks, the training books, the coaching plans by me and my team, the Circle Diet book, the Harder Than Last Time clothing line. Support me. Get to the website. Code Greg 50% off. You got no money. Get the free diet and training program. Remember, it's up to 50 pages. We've given away over 100,000 of these, and we have over 400,000 subscribers. And so get to the website. And until next time, I am out.